The diversity of economic activity in Africa.
Oh, we still need the knowledge and technology
and the
information
because
we still need to find it somehow. Like, we can't ignore the global thing entirely.
But the thing
these are just thoughts. These are just the predominant economic thoughts at the moment. They're not the only. It's not necessarily what's the best. It's just
the thing is, how do we trade if we're all making the same thing?
No, and if they've got an advantage of you in trade, you have to be able to compete almost now because people will get in somehow. But the big thing, African trade could be massively beneficial because a lot of us are just trading with Europe and we're not seeing direct benefit because every African trader is trading with another European one and not together. So that means, they just think that'll be massively beneficial, especially in terms of it also gives us a lot more power and integration in terms of what we do.
And just one last...
And technology transfer too, that's the other thing, sorry. African countries do know a lot. Sorry, we've just been doing this. But African countries do know a lot about... They've got a lot of pockets of intelligence. It's not like African countries are all like, living nuts. I mean, what the hell are we thinking? Like, there's a lot of people who know a lot, and it's a matter of growing those areas of knowledge, not looking elsewhere because we don't know. So, yeah. But that's just the predominant thinking at the moment, I think. At least from developing world economists. Yeah.
Okay, there are a dozen thoughts. Just maybe one last one that should be mentioned is the fact that there needs to be a lot more mind power enforcement where the inferiority complex of Africans that we seem to have in certain situations, that we are lesser worthy in trade and economics and as religion and culture than the rest of the world. That mindset needs to be changed. Yeah. Is there one specific other one? An interesting word was deinstitutionalization. Needs to be majorly encouraged.
Deinstitutionalization. But what do I mean by that?
I'm going to get my head around with you.
Bureaucracies are rather inhuman and generally don't pair very well with African culture. So it might be a good idea to get rid of the sort of standard hierarchical Western bureaucracy and do something that's more like a network organization maybe, and generally flexible,
I think it is important to be creative and be open for different ideas, but I also think it is important to be practical. I don't really think we can totally disengage from the rest of the world. We have to be practical about it. So yes, I agree, it is important to be open and we should be creative. Sorry, can I go on with, should I be group 2?
Yeah.
Yeah,
group
2. Okay,
yeah. This is the point. Maybe just put the arrows to your big thoughts on there as well. The thoughts that you thought were the biggest as a group, just put arrows to them as well. So you can draw or circle them or something so you can draw attention to it.
Yeah, I don't want us to fall into a debate because a lot of the stuff we can carry on in the next session.
Okay. I think probably one of the most important points that emerged from our group was the idea about unity. And not necessarily only speaking in terms of economics, but also socially and in terms of relationships, that we as South Africans should be more open to people from other African countries and that we should engage and communicate and try to understand social issues and cultural issues and be more open and cooperative. So the unity came out socially, and we were talking also on on the economic front. Unity in terms of that also came out as an important point. And then from that kind of followed the idea of citizenship and taking responsibility for our own development. Once again, the idea also about African development, being creative, but then also being practical, not being separatist and elitist. Also engaging with other ideas and not being, oh, the West is totally bad and ideas like that. And we were talking about human rights and gender equality, and then we talked about animal rights. I work at the SPCA, so I had to put that in there. And then important points that came out with regard that what ways that we can engage and contribute. We talked about the Proudly South African initiative, and we thought that was a really good idea. Once again, strengthening trade links within Africa, but then also becoming self-sustaining, finding a balance. We were talking about the importance of, or the value of volunteering our skills and our time, the importance of communication and the importance of education. And then we just talked in our group about the stuff that we are doing now to contribute on an individual level, and things that came out was the volunteering at schools, at the SPCA, facilitating community development, building skills, business development, and so on. So in our groups, there were quite a lot being done on an individual level already, which was good.